Welcome to our She Rises podcast, Confetti Conversations, where together we'll discuss topics with a cup of coffee and a handful of confetti. Join our host, author and speaker Holly Wagner and her friends as they share their experiences on real issues, real questions from you, and throw in a little random nonsense along the way.
Okay, so I'm going to start this conversation with confetti because why not? So I'm going to continue the conversation about how we navigate the challenge that we're in the middle of. We can't control the virus. We can't control what might be happening around us. But I'm the kind of person, I need to know, what can I do? What things can I do in the middle of this? And so maybe you're like me. And so there's a story in the Bible. The Apostle Paul encounters a shipwreck, and he makes some decisions that actually helps everyone. And so that was the book, Find Your Brave. That's what that was about. And I'm just going to pull a couple thoughts from there because I think that there's so many people who are not prepared for this. And when this is over, and it will be over, we just want to make sure that we're stronger even than we are today. And so what are some things that we can do? So one of them is actually in verse 34, in chapter 27 of Acts, verse 34, Paul is urging them. He's encouraging them. He says, to take some food for your safety, it will give you strength. So he's actually telling them to eat. Now, I don't know about you, but that's not been my problem, right? The quarantine food, snacks, forget about it. So, but for some reason, they weren't eating. Now, they had been on a ship and the waves were crashing against it. And it says for 14 days, they hadn't eaten. They were too busy battling that storm. And so he says, hey, we need to eat. That's what's going to give you the strength. And so I just started thinking about the bigger picture of what that might mean. So here we are in the middle of a storm. And what Paul is saying is to do the natural things. What are some things that you can do to build strength? And it's not just physical strength. Proverbs 31 says the strength that we're supposed to have is not just physical, but it's mental and spiritual. And so let's just talk about it. How can we be building our physical strength right now in the situation we're in right now? You know what? If you are in your home, you can be doing some things to build your strength. Even if it's push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks in place, you can be doing something to build your physical strength. Don't let this time pass by just because the gyms are closed. You can go for a walk, perhaps. Stay 6 feet away, but make sure that you're building your physical strength. This was something that I had to navigate even after cancer. As I navigated cancer, I had to realize that I'm responsible for my one and only body, right? The body that God's given me to fulfill the mission He's entrusted me with. And so I have to do my best to take care of it. So exercise is a part of that, building that strength. And eating, what are you eating? If you're like me, whenever you're under pressure, perhaps you want to eat more carbs and sugar. And I understand all that because I do. But maybe balance that out with something else. So again, you can control what you put in your mouth. So am I getting in your business? Do I need to throw some more confetti because you're mad at me right now? I don't know. I just want to make sure that at the end of this, we're stronger. Right? So physical strength is a part of it. And rest is a part of it. It's so easy as we're in the middle of this to let the weight and the pressure and the fears and the anxiety weigh us down. But can I just encourage you to make sure that you're getting some rest, that your sleep is real. You're getting some real rest. So it's exercise, it's eating right, it's rest, all the stuff your grandmama told you. But you can do that now in this time. And then he's talking about mental strength. So that's actually why I went back to school, while I'm planning to go in the fall and start a doctoral program. And the reason is because I want to increase my mental strength. Now, maybe school's not your thing. Okay, that's fine. But what are you doing right now to increase your mental strength? Are you reading books? Maybe read a book by somebody that you don't agree with, or whose perspective is different, because it might just challenge you a little bit, right? So are you increasing your mental strength? Are you listening to TED Talks that challenge you? I don't know what that would be for you, but are you increasing your mental strength just a little bit? And then it's spiritual strength, right? It's spiritual strength. If we're going to get through this, it's spiritual strength. Are you spending time praying? Are you doing more worrying than praying? I mean, that's easy to do, but Change comes by prayer. The disciples only asked Jesus to teach them one thing, and it was teach us to pray. I mean, they'd seen him walk on water, they'd seen him raise the dead, they'd seen him heal the sick, but they didn't ask how to do that stuff. They asked how to pray, and then that's when he began to teach them what we call the Lord's Prayer. And so somehow they knew that it was from prayer that his power came. And so in this time, make sure that you're building up spiritual strength, that you actually are praying, and reading your Bible. Let the truth of those words come through you. Spend some time being still. Maybe it's journaling for you, I don't know. But make sure that you're building that strength, doing the natural things perhaps in the middle of this season. That's what Paul was challenging them with. I put this quote by Winston Churchill, and I'm going to finish with this quote. Winston Churchill said this. He says, "To every man, there comes in his lifetime that special moment when he is figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered a chance to do a very special thing, unique to him and fitted to his talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds him unprepared or unqualified for the work which would be his finest hour." So what if our finest hour is just ahead? What if it's, now and slightly into the future? What are we doing to get prepared for it? And I just want to encourage you to be building your strength, that physical strength, the mental strength, and certainly the spiritual strength. That's one of the tools that the Apostle Paul challenged the people on the boat with, that as they navigated that storm. And so that's just the thought I want to leave with you too. All right. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you have a topic you'd like to submit, we'd love to hear from you. Please email us at sherises@oasisla.org. And for more information about She Rises, Holly Wagner, or our upcoming She Rises events, including our annual conference, please visit sherises.com. And make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at SheRisesLA.